The chair now recognizes Mr. Maloney for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I thank our witnesses too. I would like them to thank them for appearing today and for producing some of the documents that we requested. But I want to note that there are many outstanding documents, even though they were due 2 weeks ago. And so I would first like to ask Mr. Kramer, you've received $628 million in a contract. Will you commit to testifying again after we receive these documents and complete our investigation? Will you give us that courtesy, yes or no?
Yes, I will, Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. El-Hibri, will you commit to testifying again after we receive the documents? It's our duty to oversee these documents. It's our charge. We have not received them. Would you commit to testifying, Mr. El-Hibri?
I do commit, Chairwoman.
Thank you very much. We look forward to getting the documents we requested. I just want to go back to the questions about the inspections. Were you aware in June 2020 of these inspection findings from Johnson & Johnson that there was contamination and there was no plan for disinfectant of the deficiencies that they saw? Were you aware in June 2020 of these inspection findings, Mr. Kramer?
I was aware of the report, Chairwoman Maloney.
Okay, thank you. And so you oversee the business operations. In the months after that inspection, what actions did you take to correct them?
So Chairwoman Maloney, our team responded as they do with inspections, whether they be from our clients or from regulatory.
I'm sure they did, reclaiming my time, but we still had to destroy millions of AstraZeneca's vaccine doses because they were contaminated. And just last week on November 3rd, you entered into an aggressive stock trading plan to sell over 10 million of Emergent stock in January and February of 2021. So essentially, right after your company was in the process of destroying or had destroyed millions of vaccines that we could have used to save lives, but before this was made public to the people of this country, you entered into a plan to dump over 10 million of your own company's stock, which you knew were going to go down once the problem came to light. So that makes me think you were more interested in enriching yourself than serving the public. If it was my company, I'd be there trying to get it fixed so that we could get the results of the contract. So far, we've given your company $628 million. They've taken $271 million, and as yet, we have not gotten one usable vaccine. Is that correct? We haven't been able to jab one vaccine to save one American life. Is that correct?
Chairwoman Maloney, there are a number.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Have we gotten any vaccines out of your company that we could use?
Chairwoman Maloney, those we have tens of millions of doses.
Excuse me, yes or no? Have we been able to use a vaccine? Have we been able to save someone's life out of $628 million committed dollars, of which 271 have been spent? Have we been able to get one vaccine? Yes or no?
None of the vaccine that we've manufactured has been made available to the U.S.
Okay, we haven't been able to get one vaccine, but you've been able to sell stock. Were you aware of the problems at the facility when you went out there and sold your stock? At the time you made your stock sales, Emergent stock prices were hovering around $120 a share, but the price has now fallen to under $60 a share. Is it true that if you had sold your stocks today instead of before the news of Emergent's contamination, there would have been worth about 5 million rather than 10 million? But I'll answer it. You got the 10 million. And instead of thinking of ways to address your company's contamination, you were thinking of ways to enrich yourself. And I am deeply troubled about this. We have all we lost so many lives. If we had the vaccines, we would have saved those lives.